few weeks ago, news of Audi's four-door electric sports car, the e-Tron GT, began circulating the web as the company released a few tasty bits of information about its Porsche Taycan-based EV. Among the announcements were confirmation that the firm was working on an RS version of the e-Tron GT, and now the production-ready prototype has made its debut. The RS e-Tron GT is the first all-electric model to come from Audi Sport, and is positioned rather closely to the mid-range Porsche Taycan Turbo that it shares its underpinnings with. Now we've got some official details on the Audi EV, here are 5 things you need to know about the RS e-Tron GT. But before we jump into the list, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more top 5s like this and plenty of awesome car reviews. Before delving into the car's design, it's worth noting, again, that Audi has only revealed the car in prototype form, meaning the company could still tweak the car's styling in the coming months. That being said, it is a production prototype, so changes to the car's design are highly unlikely. With that in mind, some may be a bit underwhelmed by the RS e-Tron GT. Cars like the RS4 and RS6 have wider wheel arches and more aggressive styling to set them apart from the regular A4 and A6 respectively. But the RS e-Tron is pretty much identical to the e-Tron GT concept we first saw back in 2018. It gets the same front and rear bumpers as the standard e-Tron GT concept, although you'll be able to spec a carbon fibre roof for a sportier look. Audi has yet to reveal a production prototype for the standard e-Tron GT, so the concept version may have been a precursor to the RS model. If true, the RS e-Tron GT will be one of Audi's more understated performance models. But word on the street is the company will offer its pre-production camo to customers. Peel back the crazy camouflage and elegant bodywork and you'll find a pair of permanent magnet synchronous electric motors, one at the front and the other at the rear for permanent all-wheel drive. The motor at the front is the same as the one in the regular e-Tron GT, while the one at the back is a little larger and a bit more powerful. Combined, the two motors churn out 591 bhp, although Audi offers a temporary boost that turns the power up to around 640 brake horsepower. So how does that compare with a Taycan? Well, the RS e-Tron GT is quite a bit more powerful than the Taycan 4S, the cheapest model on offer in the UK, but when you take into account the car's overboost function, it still isn't enough to get near the 671 brake horsepower Taycan Turbo. Still, pin the throttle to the floor and the RS e-Tron GT will get you from 0 to 62 mph in less than 3.5 seconds, while the Taycan Turbo is a fraction quicker at 3.2 seconds. In reality though, straight line performance will probably be imperceptible. Powering the two motors is a 93.4 kWh lithium-ion battery, of which 83.7 kW are actually available, which is the same unit that you'll find in the Taycan Turbo and Turbo S. In the RS e-Tron GT, Audi expects it'll deliver a range of 249 miles under WLTP, which is actually a little bit less than what you get on the 279-mile Taycan Turbo. That doesn't come as a huge surprise given that Porsche sits above Audi in the VAG pecking order, though there is one aspect of the RS e-Tron GT that'll leave you scratching your head. More on that a bit later. The good news is the electric 4-door coupe supports 350 kW fast charging, meaning you'll be able to go from nothing to around 80% charge in 20 minutes. The downside is there are barely any 350 kW chargers in the UK. Of course, the charging network is growing at a rapid rate, so there may be a few more rapid chargers about when the RS e-Tron GT arrives next year. Sure, the car is all about performance, but there's a lot more to the silent saloon than meets the eye. The car comes with 3-chamber air suspension as standard, which can be adapted on the fly depending on the driving conditions. If you've got a 200-mile journey on your hands, then the car should feel pillowy smooth. But whack it into sport mode and the suspension should stiffen up and lower the car's ride height. There's also an efficiency mode that prioritises charge retention and Audi's individual mode that lets you create your own driver settings. But that's not all. The car also comes with all-wheel steering, a feature that started cropping up across the Audi range of late. At higher speeds, the wheels turn in the same direction as the front wheels to improve stability. but when darting around town, the back wheels turn in the opposite direction for greater agility, as it essentially tightens the car's turning circle. We'll have to wait until the car's official unveiling in the coming months to see how it stacks up against the Taycan, but for now at least the RS e-Tron looks as though it'll slot between the entry-level 4S and the mid-range Turbo. However, the RS e-Tron GT is expected to have a price tag in the region of £120,000 to £130,000, which is quite a bit more than a Taycan Turbo. It's not an official figure though, and we don't know how much standard kit the Audi will come with compared to its Porsche sibling. We'll have all the details closer to the car's release in 2021. But until then, head over to yesauto.com to check out all the latest car news and reviews.